members, I propose the question, which is that the Kenya Accreditation Service Bill, National Assembly Bill number 17 of 2018, be now read a second time.
Country is to establish the Kenya National Accreditation Service and make it an internationally recognized and be a very effective accreditation system, give us an effective and reliable accreditation system. This bill, Mr. Speaker, shall establish the service as the sole recognized body for accreditation body in our country. This bill also will occasion extra expenditure. The enactment of this bill shall occasion extra resources, additional resources, and I'm sure the Chair of Budget has left. This will be provided for in the estimates.
Mr. Speaker, as I second this bill, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that it was actually first tabled on the 26th of June last year, and we were to report to this House on the 17th of July 2018. Mr. Speaker, as it is the normal practice, we had to do a public participation, and we placed an advert through the newspapers on 7th of July 2018. We have also engaged the stakeholders, including KENAS. We called them and they were able to explain to the committee, whom I want to thank so much. As a committee, we held very many meetings with them to actually, first of all, understand what this bill means. Mr. Speaker, I want to, as I conclude, say that the Kenya Accreditation Bill 2018 has a primary objective of, 1, establish the Kenya Accreditation Service, 2, recognize the service as a sole body for carrying out the accreditation of conformity assessment bodies. 3, Mr. Speaker, establish an internationally recognized accreditation system. And D, promote accreditation for facilitation of trade and the enhancement of health, safety, environmental protection, economic performance and transformation of Kenya, and finally, promote the competence and equivalence of accredited bodies. Mr. Speaker, I therefore, Mr. Speaker, second the motion and the bill.
I must say on the onset that the bill has come at the most timely moment in our history, where we are faced with so many cases of counterfeit, so many cases of illegal importations, so many cases of substandard goods, so many cases of the uprise of cancer diseases in this country. What the bill intends to do, Mr. Speaker, sir, is to create an apex body. With those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to support the bill. Thank you.
And for me, Speaker, the purpose of this bill is actually to bring certainty to services and products that are put out in the market in Kenya and also on the international market by manufacturers from Kenya, and also for those products that come into our country to give the consumers of such services and products certainty that those products are exactly what they are. The purpose of this is to give assurance that the measure or the test or the efficacy of a product or service is exactly as is stated. Honorable Speaker, this bill has had a long time in coming before this House today. The idea about coming up with such a bill actually was mooted around the year 2000. And that is when, for the first time, the Kenya Bureau of Standards realized that even as it undertook its role in enforcing standards and coming up with standards in this country, standards of measure, standards of efficacy, it needed also to have a body which could accredit its own services and laboratories within which it undertook these services. Honorable Speaker, I only wish to add that it is important for us as a House to find financing for this very important service that will be offered, that is being offered today, and that will be offered by this statutory body that we are now creating. Taking into account that as originally founded, It was a function that was being carried out by the Kenya Bureau of Standards under the Standards Act, Chapter 496 of the laws of Kenya. And it is a law that I am pleased to speak to on this very first day that we are carrying out business in this house today. I support wholeheartedly.
I would also like to congratulate the Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives for the work that they did on this bill. It's extremely important. Mheshimiwa Serem had said KEBS had become a department, the Kenya Accreditation Service had become a department of KEBS, and it should have been the other way around, because it is the Kenya Accreditation Services that accredits KEBS. Madam Speaker, the enactment of the Kenya Accreditation Service Bill will revolutionize the standards and conformity in the state and set the stage for international recognition of products from Kenya. It will also enhance the realization of the big four agendas of government, but namely, particularly in manufacturing, Madam Speaker, and affordable housing. Madam Speaker, emerging global consensus demands that a nation has only a singular national accreditation body to be established per country. For example, among EU member states, Madam Speaker, prior to 2009, there were two accreditation bodies in the UK, namely UCAS and CPA, Clinical Pathology Accreditation. By 2013, Madam Speaker, CPA was absorbed by UCAS, so the UK has only one single accreditation body. And prior to 2009 also, Madam Speaker, Germany had 20 private and public accreditation bodies. But by 2009, Germany government amalgamated all these bodies into one legal body called DAKKS. We remember the saga, the sugar saga of last year. It is because no one believed the reports as brought out by KEBS. So this recognition by the international system is very, very important for Kenya. So with those few words, Madam Speaker, I support.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to support this bill, whose object, Mr. Speaker, is to establish a single accreditation body and a body that is independent. Mr. Speaker, this is extremely important to avoid the numerous and many bodies that we have that either rightly or just on their own volition claim to be giving accreditation. And therefore, the provision for making regulations, which eventually will come to us, is important. With that, Mr. Speaker, I do support this bill.
I arise to support this particular bill, Mr. Speaker, which I agree with the colleague that has spoken before me, that is long overdue. I want to support this bill.
Mr. Speaker, allow me to say that I do support this bill and thank the committee and the leader of the majority for this bill that is in the House.
I arise, Madam Speaker, to support this bill.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to support this bill.
So with such, Madam Speaker, I stand to support the bill.
I want to support this bill. Thank you.
I beg to support.
I want to support the bill.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. I support the motion. I beg to support. Thank you.
I want to say that I support this bill. I beg to support.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I support.
I support this motion.
I do support. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, I therefore stand to support. Thank you very much.
Order number 8, the Kenya Accreditation Service Bill, National Assembly Bill number 17 of 2018.
Honour members, debate on this bill was concluded yesterday, and what remained was for the question to be put, which I hereby do, that the Kenya Accreditation Service Bill, National Assembly Bill number 17 of 2018, be now read a second time. Will as many as that opinion say aye? Aye. As many as the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it.